Two people are still in critical condition after a shooting and fire at a Michigan church. But authorities confirmed today that everyone involved has been accounted for. It happened yesterday at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, which is about 60 miles northwest of Detroit. At least 4 people are dead. 8 others were hurt when the 40-year-old suspect drove a car through the front doors, started shooting, and then set fire to that building. The suspect also dead. The FBI is investigating it as an act of targeted violence, but are still working to determine a motive, saying they have interviewed more than 100 victims and witnesses and are working through more interviews today. This is yet another attack on a place of worship coming a little more than a month after the tragedy at Annunciation Church in Minneapolis. Gordon Severson explains how these attacks have sparked a renewed effort to increase security at places of worship. Gordon?
Yeah, Rena, right now many faiths feel like they are under attack, but instead of letting their differences divide them, faith leaders here in the Twin Cities say they are working together towards a common goal to keep their followers safe.
Card key thing. Do that, and you can see we have security here.
At the Jewish Community Relations Council in St. Louis Park, visitors pass through a locked security entrance at the front door.
It's an excellent upgrade. It's amazing.
Deputy Executive Director Ethan Roberts says the upgrades were installed about 2 years ago, the latest addition to their complex security system that includes several cameras and license plate readers.
There's a lot of security that people see, and there's a lot of security that people don't see.
Roberts says the team here provides security for several Jewish organizations across the Twin Cities, including synagogues, and they also work with other faiths as well.
I think what we see often whenever there's a tragedy, and there was some intelligence prior, is that the information was siloed, that people weren't talking to each other. Right, and so part of our work is breaking down those silos.
A spokesperson for the Catholic Archdiocese of St. Paul in Minneapolis agrees. Faith leaders from several faiths are now having active discussions about security, sharing ideas, strategies, and working together to push for more funding at the state capitol. The head of security at the Basilica of St. Mary says security is now top of mind for many places of worship. In a statement, he says they are strengthening staffing and technology resources to provide a plan that uses best practices and provides a welcoming environment. Roberts says that balance is important for all faiths to provide an open space for people to pray that is also safe and secure.
It really makes no difference what you believe or how you pray. Everyone should be safe, right? And so if we work together, we'll be much more successful.
Another way that faith leaders are working together is they are sharing information whenever they come across a potential threat. At the JCRC, leaders there say they're constantly sharing information with law enforcement, which is then often shared with other faiths, just in case the same person may show up at one of the other places of worship in the community.
Gordon, sharing this information is fantastic and wonderful, but it seems expensive. Like, there's got to be a funding issue here.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue, is how they're going to pay for this. And when I mentioned that they're going to the state capitol, one of the big areas that they're focusing on is these non-public schools. They want to increase the security there. These are the schools that are often attached to churches, synagogues, and other places of worship. So that's going to be a big focus for them at the state capitol next session.
Like Annunciation. All right. Thank you, Gordon.